Hello, my name is Bride from Kenyans in China organization. I want to state categorically because of what has been happening in Guangdong province or in Guangzhou city about Africans being pushed from their houses. These Africans, we've had some Kenyans also being pushed out of their houses, a quite number of them. And they've been pushed to the streets to a point they don't have a place to go and stay and sleep. Landlords have given notices of some Africans and Kenyans to move out of their houses. I want to point across to everyone that this is racist. This is racism working. It's discriminatory and it's ought to stop. It is uncalled for. We cannot have in the 21st century these acts happening to a people who are legal in a country. In Guangzhou, these Africans are legal. They are not illegal. They were pushed by police, calling upon the Guangdong and Guangzhou authorities to stop these inhumane acts. This is absurd. It's totally inhumane for you to come waking somebody at night and pushing them out. So these acts have been happening in the south of China mostly, not in the north. I'm an expatriate working in China for the last more than 10 years. And I know how it works in and about. Little pockets in Beijing, they are pushing away Africans from their houses. We would like to call upon the Chinese authorities to stop these savage acts. That cannot happen anywhere. It cannot happen in Kenya. It has never happened in Kenya. There are no reports of that happening. That's why we see the Consul of Nigeria yesterday in Guangzhou making a lot of attacks. Being so angry of what had happened to his compatriots. So we call these out. It should not happen to any person. And yes, they've happened. So they must be corrected. And the Guangzhou government has to stop these acts. Number two, calling upon the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. For a very long time, you've kept quiet. The discriminatory acts happening against Kenyans in China, you've kept quiet. Rachel Omamo, the CS, Ambassador Macharia, the PS, CAS, Ababuna Mwamba, you're in charge of this ministry. And the embassy in Beijing is part of you. What measures have you taken in place to protect Kenyans in China? For a very long time, these issues have not been addressed. What is the embassy doing in China, in Beijing, to protect those Kenyans in Guangzhou? Have we sent somebody from the embassy to go down there to Guangzhou to protect the Kenyans, just like the way Nigeria has their consulate down there that protects Kenyans? We need to see proactiveness. You need to wake up. Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we call upon you to protect Kenyans in China. It's time to wake up. Any grievance must be addressed. We ask you for address. The embassy is there on taxpayers' money. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we have people working there as civil servants. Those are taxpayers' money. We pay those taxes. You need to address these grievances. We call upon you to stop sleeping. You're sleeping in your job, and we'll criticize you for what it's worth because you're not doing your jobs properly. Kenyans all over the world, it's not only about China. The other day I was in Germany, people are complaining about the embassy in Germany. Everyone is complaining. You need to wake up and be proactive. So let's not see these sluggishness, complacency, and professionalism when it comes to our embassies not protecting our citizens being persecuted across the world. Now in China, we need to see boots on the ground. Kenyan officials in Guangzhou protecting Kenyans and other Africans. This is the most important thing. Number three, I've had across sections of Kenyans calling upon like Chinese should leave Kenya immediately. When that happens, there is going to be a blowback. You cannot have these kinds of calls. You are going to see insecurity against Chinese everywhere. Please, let's not do this. There are proper channels to be able to solve these issues. There are proper channels to be able to make sure that the mechanism works well. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the buck stops with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We call upon you to wake up and make sure that the imbalances that exist, that Kenyans cannot access visas, working visas, business visas, anytime they want, must stop. Please, as far as we're concerned, you give a lot of good service to Chinese in Kenya. But when it comes to Kenyans in China, this is not what they get. We are only 5,000 in China. Kenyans are only 5,000. In Kenya, there's 110,000 Chinese. Can you be able to balance these? Accord us what we need. Please talk to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to lessen rules against Kenyans and Africans, that some of them can also be able to work in China. Some of them can be able to move up and down in China and access visas. This is one of the biggest problems that we are facing. But apart from that, all over the world right now, we call upon all the bodies concerned. Racism must stop. Discriminative acts must stop. We call upon Beijing to sensitize the Chinese to stop racism. They don't know about it. They must stop racism. For us to cohabitate together, racism ought to stop.